start it right here, and Jim and Austin are going to make it.
Hey, Joseph. This is kind of loud. You can come over. I'm gonna teach you how to go through a rail fence.
I go under.
You go under? You could step through there.
Yeah, you could have gone through that one. That'll work. Plug your ear. Plug your ears. You want ear things? Let me get you ear.
That might be good.
Like that. Okay, look right there, okay?
Don't look at this, look at there.
And then talk about your cookie. Is the cookie any good? You can shake. Yeah, it's a good cookie. Is that your first cookie?
Alyssa, how old are you?
4.
And what do you like to do at my house?
Play.
Play? And do you like to read? And what are we getting to go in there?
I don't know. Pigs.
Pigs. Did you get to go see the pigs?
The other day.
Remember when we went to the farm and they gave us ice cream? Yeah?
Okay. We've got the fence built for the feeder pigs that are coming. We harvested all of the cattle panels that we could find around, so we have plenty to use. And then we added welded wire on the inside because we know the little guys are gonna try to push out through those holes. They can't fit, but they'll figure out how to do it. So with the welded wire, that ought to stop them. We have, I would say, a 95% confidence that they're not gonna be able to get out. I don't know how they're gonna do it. With a 95% confidence that they're going to stay in, they'll figure out a way. But they can't lift it up high enough to get under unless they're really tiny. And if they're tiny, they're not strong enough to lift it up that high. So we'll see how well it works. What we will do though, we just have a T-post at each corner right now. As they get larger, we're going to add a T-post halfway down on all 4 sides.
You're moving.
Now, when they get finished with the area that they're in and it's time to have them go to another area, we have 3 additional panels that we still need to put the hardware wire on those. Maybe the pigs will be big enough by then. That we will put those up for the next area using one side of the existing one, put the next 3 up. Then we can take the T-posts down that aren't being used any longer and move them in place. Open up between them, they'll go into the new area, and we've got them moved really easy. So we're looking forward to that, see how well it works.
Now we have a feeder to build and a shelter.
Yeah, feeder to build and shelter to build. We're looking at designs right now, and yeah, we got to be ready to go on this. So a couple of days we'll have it together, but these are pigs. They can handle it.
We're going to talk about protein.
Proteins.
Proteins.
Like baseball proteins or?
Proteins. Okay, go Cardinals. Go Rockies.
Okay.
Okay.
Go Royals. You're in royal country.
I know, but no, when the radio plays, it plays Cardinals.
Okay, very good.
Okay. So the protein in our body is all over the place. It's what we're mostly made of. Our cells are made of protein.
By all over the place, you mean it's everywhere. It's not like it's weird.
Our muscles are made of protein.
We need protein.
We absolutely have to have protein. And so our bodies require that protein. Animal proteins...
We don't manufacture it, we have to intake it.
In a way.
If we don't put it in, it's not going to be there.
This is true.
Okay.
This is true.
We use it up. We make things out of it.
Yes.
And then those go away and we get rid of them and we need more.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Constantly.
Constantly. So what proteins are made up of is 22 different amino acids. And the food that we put into our body takes these little amino acids and puts them together into these long chains and makes the protein that our body needs. 9 or so of those are essential amino acids, meaning our body cannot make them. They have to be put in there by particular food.
Yeah.
We have to be able to...
And they're essential.
They're essential. And they're called essential because we have to put them in.
Because your body needs it. It can't function without them. It can't build without them.
Can't build. All right, so a high quality protein and a lower quality protein. Now, don't get discouraged when I talk about the lower quality. And don't start throwing daggers comments at me because I'm going to bring it all back together.
So it's kind of like a high quality Cadillac and a low quality Cadillac.
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
So the higher quality is your animal products. It's your meats, your eggs, your dairy, your fish, all of that.
Okay.
What's considered the lower quality is your vegetables. All of those type of things. And the reason, and I'm going to give you some examples. Most fruits and vegetables have protein in them. So fruits and vegetables have protein in them, but they're just, I prefer to say they're incomplete protein rather than a lower. And then a little bit better is your lentils and your beans and your grains. Those things are a little bit higher quality, but they don't provide the essential. So what you have to do with plant proteins is combine them. So what is it that the Hispanics eat a lot of in those countries? Rice and beans. They combined grains and the lentils, and then that makes a complete.
So it gives your body everything it needs for building those essential proteins.
The essential amino acids. And so you can combine your dried beans, your peas, your peanuts, all of that with something, say, from a grain. So a barley, a corn, a rice, a wheat. And then you can also add your seeds in because those have different nutrients and different protein levels. So if you're a vegetarian, I'm sure you studied what you need to combine. I know my son's really good at it. What you need to combine in order to have a complete protein so that your body can have all the essential amino acids. And because that's what our bodies are made of. If we don't put in what our bodies are made of, then they can't function properly.
Because they use up what's there.
Yeah. Even somebody with anorexia. Let's go back in time, and I may be going way, way back in time beyond your time. But Karen Carpenter died of anorexia, the complications of anorexia. We watched her on stage for years as she declined, and her body would try to compensate and compensate and compensate until she could no longer compensate because she was not giving it the amino acids and the carbs and all of the different things that it needed. So our bodies are amazing. You could have abused them for 60 years and turn it around. Regenerate, isn't that what you call it?
So wrong.
So we got called away and we're back. We went and got a cage for picking up our pigs.
Picking up the piggies.
Somebody made a wooden one and it's not so bad.
No, it's good. It'll do the job. Well, not expensive.
Pretty great.
It will be a tight fit for these pigs.
Good.
We haven't looked at them in a couple weeks. Hopefully they haven't doubled their size.
Maybe we should take a tub just in case.
If they've doubled their size, you're carrying at least one of them in your lap.
All right, so during this part, what I want to do is be able to tell you how to know how much protein to eat. So really your body is...
That's one of your questions, right? How much?
How much am I supposed to be eating?
How do I know?
And your body's going to kind of tell you, but if you do eat too much, it goes to fat. And if your body's supposed to have this little chemical that up here tells you, oh, you're full. But I can tell you if I'm only supposed to have 8 ounces and I eat a 12-ounce steak, well, good luck to me because I can't eat a 12-ounce steak. But men do.
On the point of your body telling you, we typically ignore those signals from our body.
We in general as a population.
Right. I mean, we have some horrible habits, but you know, some of it stems from we take too big of bites, we don't chew it thoroughly, and we swallow it rapidly.
We're not mindfully eating.
Yes, and so as a result, it's going in so fast that by the time our body signals us, we're way past. But it's such a habit that we don't pay attention to those signals, and so we typically overeat.
You're talking about yourself, aren't you?
Well, and a whole bunch of other people. I mean, it's a normal thing. It's not like it's abnormal. It's just problematic. It creates our problems.
All right, so this is the code of what you need to do. You take your weight, and we're going to imagine that you're 165. I don't want to imagine that I'm 165.
I can do that.
Okay. And you divide it by 2.2 pounds. So 165 divided by 2.2 pounds is going to give you that amount in kilograms. In kilograms. And then you're going to times that times 0.8. And that gives you 60. Then what you're going to do is take those grams and multiply them times 7, because there is 1 ounce of protein in every 7 grams. So that is going to give you your amount of grams that you can have during the day. So 60 divided by 7 comes out to 8.5 grams. 8.5 ounces of protein that you can have during the day. And you're like, what? I can only have 8.5? Yep. So
what you're saying is more than that doesn't get used for making the enzymes.
It doesn't do all of the, if you eat more, it's not
so
going to...
your body has to figure out what to do with it, and typically it's going to store it, and when it stores it, it's in a form that's called FAT.
Right.
Which stands for fibers and it just stands for fat.
I was like, what's he coming up with? This should be interesting. So I can have, and this was based on before, I don't know what it is now, but I could have 7 ounces a day. So what you're going to do is divide, well, how many times am I going to eat a day? Well, I'm going to eat 5 times a day. So I'm going to have 3 meals and 2 snacks. So that means I'm going to have 2 ounces of protein with my meals, and I'm going to have a 1/2 ounce of protein to an ounce, to whatever, with my snack. So what is that? What does that mean?
Can I inject something here that it means? If 8 ounces of protein is what our body needs to do what it needs to do, and we eat 12 ounces of protein, we can say, I'm eating right. But we aren't. We're eating right too much, which means our body is going to do the opposite of what it's going to give us the healthiness. That's going to be great, but it's going to give us a little bit that gets stored here and there.
Right.
That we're going to say, but my waist size isn't changing.
But I'm eating okay. So what is 2 grams? What does it look like if I can have 2 grams? So of cottage cheese, it's a 1/2 cup of cottage cheese. But for your meat size, it's 2/3 size of a playing deck of cards. 2/3. 3 ounces is a playing deck of cards. Am I saying that right? A deck of playing cards. I knew it didn't sound right. And 4 ounces is a little bit bigger than a deck of cards. So that can kind of give you an idea, you know, of play, you know, or you can also look at your palm and do it. So are we eating too much protein, or are we eating enough protein? Like, he just got us a snack, and he just got me one little tiny piece of cheese and grapes and blueberries and a little tiny piece of cookie and some carrots. And I'm like, I don't know if I've got enough protein here, but I might for my ½ ounce that I'm supposed to have. In the next couple of days, I'm going to tell you how much carbohydrates you're supposed to have. Remember, we eat a balance of them. Until then,
Thanks for watching.
subscribe to our newsletter if you haven't at hardinessapproach.com, and we will see you tomorrow.